The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here to preferences. We're going to go to initialize Zbrush. Right? If you go right over to the top, you have the initialize Zbrush. I like doing that because it resets all my tools. Okay, so if somebody else is working on it, has worked on your machine, or you're working on your machine, you'll know that everything's fresh, meaning that the tools have all been reset. So you do that. If you have anything on your screen while you're doing that, it's going to make it disappear. Just to let you guys know, it's going to make it pop off. And so once you have that set, we know that Zbrush is ready for us to work with. We're going to go into our simple brush tool set, which is this letter S. You're gonna select that, and you're gonna get all these basic primitives, right, that we can work with. So we're gonna start off with our circle here. So we're gonna click on that, and nothing's gonna appear. Okay, so it's like a giant stamp. So what you gotta do is click, hold, and drag. Okay, and I'm gonna go back and do that again. If you want to get rid of an object in ZBrush, it's not like in Photoshop or in like Maya. I don't know. I want to say Rhino, but I don't know Rhino. What you have to do is you want to go Control N, and it'll delete. So Control N is delete. Okay. All right. What's that? No, it's Control N. If you have an object, it's Control N. If you go Control Z, Control Z will work once you start modeling. Okay. Yeah, but right now we're not doing much. So once I have my basic tool, again I'm gonna drag it out. I'm gonna rotate it, and I'm gonna let it go. All right. Now we're still not doing anything yet. Like, we're not modeling yet. If you try modeling right now, you're gonna build a bunch of these here. So if I try modeling, but I start building a bunch of them, and it looks like it is a plate. That's what it looks like. Like if some of these chromosomes are just going crazy. Right? We don't want to do that. Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. So what I'm going to do is do that again. Control N, delete. Right? So now I'm gonna drag it out, place it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go edit it, and it's right up here. And if you hover over some of these tools, it'll tell you that's the letter T. So if you want to do hotkeys, you just go T, and it'll go into edit mode. Now edit mode gets a little weird, okay? Because once you're in this mode, the first thing you want to do is center your object, and then you want to start rotating. So to rotate your object or to center it, right, your Alt button becomes your best friend. On your Mac is your Option key, right? So you go Option, and if you click, you can pan. See, I'm just panning around. I can just pan. So now I'm just panning. If I let go of the Alt or the Option button, what I can do is that I can rotate. If your object pops the way mine popped and it got bigger, you're gonna have to scale or zoom out. Zooming out here is weird. Okay, I just let you guys know. It's a little strange. What you want to do is you want to go Option, click, let go of Option, and then drag up. See that? So drag up or down. It's not right to left. You go up or down, and then you can set your object. Okay, so I'm going to go Option with my Wacom tablet, click, drag it, and pan it and center it. Now what I'm going to find right now is my center axis, because I'm going to go symmetry with this thing, okay? So what I'm going to do is press X on my keyboard, and I'm going to get my symmetry tool, okay? Once I have that placed, what I want to do is look for that center axis. So what I'm going to do is not click on my object, but I'm going to rotate it, and I start seeing it. If you guys look up at my screen, instead of this tool not finding it, I have to go. So I'm going to have these two dots. Do you guys see that? I have two dots that are representing symmetry. All right. So for me to find that center axis to model accurately, what I have to do is rotate it. So I'm going to go off to the side. I'm going to rotate, and then look, I can see it there now. I'm finding that like symmetrical point. So now what I got to do is snap it. So to snap my object, I'm going to hold down Shift, and then I'm going to go outside of here, and I'm going to drag, and it's going to snap to that center point. So now I have this set, and then it's telling you that. Oh yeah. So it's telling you that we can't do anything with it. You're trying to model. So just click outside. Okay, go outside. All right. So somebody just got a message. Okay. So ZBrush, unless you make this an editable object, ZBrush is going to tell you, look, we can't do anything And so you make this object an object that we can model with. So I can try and model right now, and Zbrush will give you that same message. It'll tell me stop, hold on, until you make this until you convert this into a poly mesh, then we can't do anything. So to make this into a poly mesh, if you guys go right over to the top into your tool set, you guys look up here where it says tools. You see a button that says make poly mesh 3D. Let me cancel that. So once you click make poly mesh 3D, it makes the object editable. Okay. Now, like I'm gonna assume, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, everyone here has taken a sculpting class, correct? Yeah. Kind of, a little bit, or we've all played with Play-Doh, yes? Yeah. I love Play-Doh, correct? So Play-Doh. So when we're playing with Play-Doh, we can pinch it and do small pinches and drag, and we can get something where we can grab that big piece of clay and just drag out and create something. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna grab and drag and create something. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing we want to do is, if you guys look right up here, you're gonna have your Z intensity, your Z draw, and your focal shift. Okay, so we're gonna work with two right now with our Z intensity and our draw size. So our draw size is the size of our brush, right? If I make that big, I can select move. Okay. Now the quick hotkey for that is on your keyboard. Next to the letter P, you have these two brackets. If I hold one bracket down, it makes it smaller, just like in Photoshop. If I hold it up, it makes it bigger. See? So brackets, or you can just scroll right on top. I like using hotkeys. I mean, look, if you guys are gonna work industry, learn your hotkeys because it makes it so much easier for you to just be faster. Okay? So I'm gonna bring that up, and the reason I'm bringing it up is to show you how you can make a quick sculpt with something. Okay, so we're gonna go into our brushes. When you click on your brushes, which are over to the left, right, you'll see brush on top. You get this big mess. You're like, well, what do I pick, right? Because it's not like you going into your sculpting class and grabbing something to sculpt with. You got to select a brush. So the first one we're gonna play with is with our move brush. Okay, so instead of going through this mess, if you press on the letter M, it'll take you to just the brushes that have the letter M in them. So we're gonna go move, select move, and your move brush is gonna appear right up in your top left-hand corner. Once you have that selected, you can get your intensity, and we're gonna start off with a low intensity. Go 10 or 15. Might just send it 12. Let me just bring it up a little more. So we're gonna bring that up a tad bit, and then what that's gonna do is, if you go right on your model, so we have symmetry on, okay, meaning that it's gonna select both ends. If I start dragging left, if I start dragging, it's at a low intensity, I can start deforming this piece of clay. Okay, but now we have another problem, okay? Is that we're starting to deform it, but we're not doing what? What's the one thing that you learn in 3D programs right off the bat when you're modeling? That you're supposed to what? Model in what? In every angle, okay? So that's why when you work in Maya, when you work in 3D Max, they always have you work in your orthographic views. Which are your orthographic views, guys? Very good, thank you. So you always work in those three views, okay? In ZBrush, you just work that way, but what you do is that you go off to the side and you rotate your model, and then you start making adjustments. If you want this to move a little bit faster, you grab your intensity and you bring it up, and now you can pull it. See, now you get more deformation here, so we can start pulling out. What you make is up to you. You can make a fancy apple, or you can make a weird shape. We're just getting comfortable with just moving and deforming, okay? You can use your option button and then just drag, rotate. If you want to snap it, you can hold down shift and we can snap to that side view. We can go to the front, snap to that front. We can drag and snap to that other side view, or we can drag and snap to our back view. Let me walk around and see what you guys are still stuck with.